Buddy, this is David B69, and we're doing something a little bit different today. We're going over the Atari 50, the anniversary collection. Just came out, just was released. This is on the PlayStation 5. There is a version for the PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series of consoles, and the Nintendo Switch. And the Nintendo Switch also has like a collector's case tin thing that you can get as well. So if you wanted to get that, you can get that. Generally, this costs around $40. The collector's version for the Switch actually costing $50. And it's just nothing more than really a tin, which is not a big deal. But anyways, I'm excited just to go through this because I heard about this and I got like super excited. I haven't, to be all honest with you, I haven't owned anything Atari game related, like for collections and such, since like, I don't know, 20 years ago. We're talking it's like what I have is the Atari Anthology, and that was released in 2004. So we're talking 18 years ago. It's like not even like 20 years, 18 years ago. So yeah. Let's see here. Options. I don't want menu music on because I'm afraid if there's any kind of licensing, I don't want it. So yeah, you basically can go through the arcade's origins. Go through arcade games, music visualization, even holograms, the birth of the console, the highs and lows of the system, the dawn of PCs, and the 1990s and beyond. And yes, folks, it has the Lynx and the Jaguar and some games included in this collection. You also can have the option of just hitting square and just takes you right to the game library. Okay? So you can just go right to the games. If you really, really wanted to do that, you could do that. But I thought it would be a little bit more fun just to basically go through a little bit. And let's take our time here. We can begin an interactive journey through Atari history, or jump through the game library at a time by hitting square. Okay, so let's go to Arcade Origins, because I just thought it was kind of cool. In the beginning. That's kind of funny. I'm getting my Moses vibe on here. In the beginning, in the world where pinball was king, two engineers dreamed of coin-operated games played on their computers could become the next big thing. A company called Syzygy was where it all started. Syzygy. I mean, seriously, that is their name. That was the name of the company. I mean, wow. Then basically they created I remember Computer Space. Yeah, it was based on the 1962 computer game Space War. And you can zoom in, we can actually look at that, that's pretty cool. Get a nice good look at it. That's pretty cool. It's kind of freaky. I like the coin return. You basically had the old-fashioned coin slots and then the coin returns. So that's kind of cool. And if we wanted to, we can just hide these controls so we don't see it. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So now it shows that we've explored that. Let's see here. I'm going to play this video. I'm not sure if this would get blocked or not. Would this video get blocked? I'm not really a big fan of getting blocked. That's wild. That is wild. Cool. Okay, I don't know about playing these videos. I mean, is it really that big of a deal? I mean, would they really? I don't think they would have anything on that.
For some reason, I'm looking through San Jose Mercury in the just random stuff section for sale. You can see world's first video game computer. No price, just call. I'm like, wow, pretty interested in this. So I called the guy. I said, so you got a computer space? Yeah. He goes, yeah. First game ever. Okay, what color is it? He goes, well, what color do you want? I'm like, wow, this is getting very interesting, because who has a whole bunch of computer spaces? Who would know that they came in all these different colors? Got a solid blue, metal flake blue, and metal flake red. And he goes, a whole bunch of other games too. Okay, great. Want to come up and see them. These were in a Quonset hut on a sunflower seed farm off of Highway 80 in Dixon, California, halfway between, the Bay Area and Sacramento. And these things hadn't been moved in, probably since 1975. And so I got in touch with Nolan and showed him the pictures and scratched his head, and then like a light bulb went off in his head. He goes, these were Ted Dabney's. These were Ted Dabney's units. This was his route. When he left, he took a route that we had, and he goes, this yellow one's the first one. He goes, I know it. That yellow one is the very first one. I kept the first one, which is a beautiful yellow computer space, and I kept Pong number 46. And we got the rest of them running and working as good as we could. We got it all for $5,000. I don't regret the purchase one bit. Not for a minute.
That seems rather pricey for an old game like that, but okay. I mean, he's happy. Let's see here. Then Atari was formed, I guess, here. Oh, it's a term in Japanese game. From the Japanese game Go. Oh, okay. Well, that's actually interesting. Huh. I'll go back to that video in a second. Okay, well, let's see what this video has to say.
Well, I'd say 30 years to pretty much the present. The arcades have been relegated to the back rooms and the side streets, and generally been an unsavory type of place. What we want to do is bring the amusement game to age. If we can give it a new zip and a pizzazz, it's going to be financially successful, as well as, I think, a very serious part in the leisure time activity of the American people.
The marriage of traditional pinball machines and computer technology has resulted in the birth of a new breed of amusement games. And Nolan Bushnell is the man handing out the cigars. Bushnell has developed two such games, Computer Space and Pong, and believes that they and others like them will move the pinball industry out of America's bus stations and bowling alleys and into the space age. In 1971, Bushnell invented Computer Space, but sold production rights to Nutting Associates of Mountain View, California, for royalties based on the number of games sold. It proved a good deal for both parties. Sales already exceed 1,500 machines. Computer Space, like Pong, sells for around $1,000 and is played on the screen of a standard television set, which has been programmed to display the desired game. In computer space, the player controls a rocket ship, which is trying to shoot down enemy flying saucers while avoiding their missiles. If the player scores more hits than the enemy saucers, he gets one free play. By the time Bushnell invented Pong in 1972, he was able to form his own company, Syzygy Corporation in Santa Clara, California, to produce the game. He has already sold over 1,000 machines and expects to sell 10,000 in the United States by the end of the year. Pong, as the name might indicate, is a game of video ping pong. The two players turn dials which control their electronic paddles and volley with an equally electronic ball. The first player to score 15 points wins. While Bushnell did design and program both his games, the technology he uses dates back to the late 1950s. Thanks to research by the Defense Department in the wake of Sputnik, Bushnell is now able to act out his dream of a nation inhabited by thousands of Pong and computer space games.
The government spent millions of dollars on this technology, and as a result, now it's cheap enough that we can put it into a game and sell it for 25 cents for a few minutes and make $1 out of it. It's something that the research and development really was done many years ago, and now it's cheap enough that with PC boards and integrated circuits, we can use that technology to our advantage.
The basic electronic unit of Bushnell's games is the integrated circuit. Each of these small chips is capable of storing large amounts of information. The program for a game is determined by specific combinations of these units to form a PC, or printed circuit board. The printed circuit board then tells the TV screen what to do. A single printed circuit board is all that is required to operate Pong, whereas 15 years ago it would have taken enough tubes and wiring to fill an average house. Bushnell first saw the commercial potential of video games in a game called Space War, which has been played at computer centers around the country for several years.
We used to play Space War a lot at the AI project at Stanford, which is a big computer complex. And one day it just hit, this is a lot of fun. You ought to be able to package it and sell it for a price. And, one thing leads to another, and pretty soon, from doodling on a scratch pad, you're actually working out some basic block diagrams, and from there you think, boy...
Welcome to everybody's watching. This is Atari. This is the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection. Streaming this on the PS5. Just showing off a few things. Anybody comes in and they want to see something, they can let me know. Puppy Pong? That's hilarious. I did not catch on. I never heard of Puppy Pong, so that's kind of funny. Yeah, definitely creative ideas to try to get just one thing to sell. That's wild. And yeah, just going to go through and everything, the rest of it. I'm going to basically not play any games or anything right now. I just basically want to zoom on. Yeah. Okay. What made Gotcha controversial is the pink domes covering the joysticks were meant to resemble breasts. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can see how that would be controversial. Oh, Tank was an awesome game. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to actually play the games. You have to play the videos, but you don't have to play the games when it comes up to them. Yeah, this was wild because we had when we had Pong, we got it from Sears, I think it was, and they were, instead of like twisty things like this, they were slide rolls. So yeah, it's like, but it says this is from Sears, but it's like we didn't have this. Ours was more like they were like slides, and you had like 4 games or something on it at the same time. Like it was like hockey or something, and yeah, it was like just different versions and stuff that we had back then. So it's like it's a little bit different than that. Like I said, I could go through every single video, and it just seems like it would be a little bit more cumbersome. Oh. Okay. Time 2000. Crazy thing is, we used to have like pinball machines like this. They were very simple, and we had them at home. I do remember having one. Which is pretty wild. $16 cost selections. Okay. Wow. Gives you a lot more detail. Oh, I remember this in the arcades. Hercules. This thing was huge. This thing was like absolutely a monster. Yeah, I definitely remember this. Yeah, let me know if anybody remembers that game. That was crazy. Of course, Breakout. Everybody remembers Breakout. Warner Communications bought it in '76. Wow. Yeah, I love Jar's Revenge. Just another high-strung prima donna from Atari. That's awesome. That is hilarious. Did they do drugs at Atari? Oh my goodness, you remember this game? You basically all are looking down at the screen and like we're all like playing this race game. That was wild back in the day. There you go, that's what the screen looked like. But it was wild because it was like really, really cool. It was like, it was just like, just really neat. I remember Fire Truck as well. It wasn't like the coolest game in the whole wide world, but it was there. Okay. Oh, it didn't even have to go through it all. Lunar Lander was cool. Wow. Operator adjustable. You get to see this. This was the cool thing. It's like if it got too easy and you saw people were playing for too long, you adjust to make sure it's a little bit harder every single time. So it's like you don't get people like too frustrated, but you also can like just make a game a little bit more difficult if people are like getting like too good at the game. So it's like it was one of those cool little things that they created. Yeah, they created a new game, Atari Touch Me, or as they call it, Simon. It took inspiration from Simon. It's just it's not inspiration when it's pretty much stealing. Wait a second. Oh, Simon did take it from Touch Me. Okay, that's cool. Interesting. Oh, the Super Breakout handheld. Wow, that's pretty cool. I don't remember that being a handheld. See, there you go. It's like you can start the game with 3 or 4 things. Like I said, it was one of those things where you could do to make it a little harder for people. Yeah, Missile Command was wild. Oh, I remember the tabletops. They were wild. Cosmos holograph. I don't know anybody that had that. You know, I truly didn't know anybody that had that. Do you know anybody that had that game? Because, I mean, honestly, I was never privy to anybody that had it. Yeah, by the time the early 80s started, the arcades were everywhere. We had arcades. at our mall. We had arcades down the shore. We still have arcades down the shore. Yeah, it is absolutely wild. Yeah, there you go. It's instead of making they have the operations of the coin options for that, and you could change the bonus lives. They had so much ability to do what they wanted with these things. Yeah, Asteroids Deluxe was it was cool. Yeah, I remember Warlords as well. Not the biggest fan of Warlords, but it was a cool game. Of course, everybody knows Centipede. Bug Shooter, aka Shoot the Centipede. Oh, that's hilarious. That is cool. I love this stuff and everything. Interoffice memo, July 1980. Shoot the Centipede. That is wild. See, these are kind of things that you just don't generally see. And I'm so glad that they made this available for everybody else to see now. So, like I said, it's just like really cool. I mean, just the idea of creating a game, and it's like the whole thought process of how this stuff is done. It's wild. I mean, of course, it's like much more complicated now than it is back then, but yeah, it's wild. So, let's see here. Oh, Tempest. Everybody remembers Tempest. Defining the future. Yeah, Tempest is pretty wild. Maze Invaders. Visual style reminiscent of Pac-Man. Can honestly say I'd never played it. That's funny. Gravatar? Oh yeah, I sort of do remember that. Why does this guy just look like he wants to get it on with the girl and everything? Has nothing to do with the game. Wow, that ball and everything, that trackball is like huge. And yeah, you can just go right into the games right here and everything. You can see like right up top. Oh. Game descriptions. 2 Pokies. More playfield stamp. Yeah, it's just going through the details of what made it like a really cool game. And use a key theme or make a female version. It is all about selling the game. I mean, well, they wanted the people that played Centipede back in the time. They just basically wanted to play more of it, but they wanted it to be a little bit more improved. So it's generally what they did. Man, the Atari Force. Anybody remember the Atari Force? I mean, I remember the comics for the Atari Force. Just thought that was kind of wild back in the day. That's cool. Okay, let's go back to the game library because kind of bored here. Let's see. Haunted House, iRobot, Liberator, Lunar Lander, Major Havoc, Malibu Bikini Volleyball. This was on the Atari Lynx. Maze Invaders. It was on the arcade, Millipede, 2600 version of Millipede, the 5200 version of Millipede. Here we go. The Atari 2600 version of Miner 2049er and the Atari 800 version of Miner 2049er. Now, I got to tell you, I had Miner 2049er on the Commodore 64. I absolutely loved this game. So I imagine it's a little closer to the Atari 800 version compared to the 2600 version. It's kind of funny, the Atari 2600 version didn't come out till the year following, but yeah. Missile Command, that was the arcade version, and that's the Atari 2600 version. And we had the 5200 version. And then we have 3D, and this is on the Atari Jaguar. Guys, I don't know about you, but I think it's like really cool, and it's like one of those about time moments that we actually have some emulation, some video gameplay from the Atari Jaguar. I mean, come on. This was not 1995, and we've never had, that I'm aware of, any Atari Jaguar gameplay from anything. I mean, I talked about the other Atari game on the PS2. You couldn't play any Atari Jaguar games. They were never available to us. Here's a reimagined one, Neo Breakout. Here's Ninja Golf for the 7800. Outlaw for the 2600. Pong, the original guy from 1972 in the arcade. Quadra Tank. Quad Run. Quattrum. This is a secret game. Can't tell you what that is or I have to kill you. Real Sports Baseball. Now, this was kind of wild because you know me, I love my sport games. I don't remember the Real Sports that well. I think they were good games. I just don't remember them that well. We were limited on how much money we had back in the day. My parents were not rich folk. So we just didn't really have that many Atari 2600 games. We had maybe 25, 30 games, which is a lot, but it's not like a tremendous amount where we would own every single game because there was tons of games on the Atari 2600. Real Sports Basketball, which is cool. Boxing, Real Sports Football, Real Sports Soccer, Real Sports Tennis, Real Sports Volleyball. This is wild. And these were all 2600 games. I thought these games were also on like the 5200 or 7800. Ruiner Pinball. That should be interesting to play on the Jaguar. Saboteur. Scrapyard Dog, which I heard is like a really cool game on the 7800. I look forward to playing that. It's also on the Atari Lynx. Secret Quest on the 2600. Solaris. Space Duel, which is a great game. Sprint 8. Star Raiders. Now, Star Raiders, I was a huge fan. You needed the pad to play because you needed to be able to enter your coordinates in. Not exactly sure how that's going to work, but I've never played the 5200 version, so imagine they'll basically show us how it works. But yeah, super excited to play that again. But it's like this is the 5200 version. Super Asteroids on the Atari Lynx. Oh, and it includes Missile Command as well. Super Breakout on the Atari 2600, 5200. Surround, don't know that one. Sword Quest, 2600. Oh, that's Sword Quest Air World. Okay, and this is regular Sword Quest Earth World. What the heck? Fire World? How many were there? Was there 4 of these games? It's like I never heard of it. What the heck? Okay, I guess I'm going to have to sink my time into it. Tempest 2000 for the Jaguar. That Simon game, Touch Me. Trevor McFur and the Crescent Galaxy on the Jaguar. This is cool. I love all the Jaguar games. Turbo Sub. Victor Scatter. Warlords on the arcade. Okay, Warlords on the 2600. Yar's Revenge. Yar's Revenge was like one of my top games back in the day on the 2600. And they also have a reimagined version. And Yomp. And that basically wraps that's the whole list. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through the Atari 2600 anthology catalog and see if there's any game that is on this anthology disc on the PS2 that is not on here. They do not have Tic-Tac-Toe. They do not have Adventure. They do not have Air-Sea Battle. They do have the Asteroid games. Atari Video Club, they do not. Backgammon, they do not. Battlezone, they do not. Black Widow, do not. Blackjack, Bowling, Breakout, Canyon Bomber, Casino, nope. They don't show Circus Atari. I think it had Combat. Crystal Castles. I don't believe we've seen Crystal Castles. Do we see Crystal Castles? Yeah, here we are, Crystal Castles. Okay. So we had that. Demons to Diamonds. Here we go. Desert Falcon. Okay, they do not have Desert Falcon. Okay, we do have Dodge 'em. Do we have Double Doink? No Double Doink. Flag Capture is the next one. Nope. No Fun with Numbers. No Golf. Gravatar. No Hangman. This is, yeah, their home run is not on here. Human Cannonball, Liberator, Lunar Lander. Wow, there's quite a bit that is on the the Atari Anthology on the PS2 that is not here. Now it's kind of cool. They do have the Sword Quests on here, but they only have 3 of them, and apparently this one has 4 of them. But I also have Miner 2049er, which is also a win. Yeah, there's 3 Sword Quests, and they have 4 of them here. So, yeah, that is just wild. But and they have Yar's Revenge. But yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more on the old disc, so it's definitely worth keeping some of the old stuff that you have for collecting. But yeah. So I just basically wanted to show off a little bit of this and go through it. I just found it to be really cool. Yeah, if there's anything like gameplay or anything else that you want to see, leave a comment below and I will definitely play some. What is this? Game design build. If you only explore the 5 pathways, fully walked reveal a way to crash and score. So you basically have to unlock this game. Some of this stuff you have to unlock. I mean, come on, folks. I mean, you gotta love it that they want you to unlock things. That is so wild. So, anyways, we're gonna continue to do this. Have some fun. I hope you all have a great day. Enjoy your Friday. And have a great weekend. So until next time, this is David B69, and I'm out.